From South Carolina Public Radio, this is the South Carolina Lead. I'm your host, Gavin Jackson, and this episode was recorded on September 29th, 2025 from South Carolina Public Radio Studios here in Columbia. On this episode of The Lead, we look at what's on tap this week, including a hearing on a controversial and restrictive abortion ban bill before a Senate subcommittee. We catch up with Maayan Schechter about that. Also, we stare down a possible government shutdown and who could be affected in our state. And we just dodged Tropical Storm Imelda right on the anniversary of Helene hitting our state as a tropical storm a year ago. Scott Morgan continues our look back. But we never look back. We look forward to talking to you. Okay, that's what AT told me to say. Yes. And in order to do that, you need to call us at 803-563-7169. We want to look back and forward with you. But give us a shout. We love hearing from you guys in the wind down section. I promise you we're going to have a very lively one. That's a promise, okay? Stay hungry. 803-563-7169. We'll see you there in a minute. Let's start off by looking at what's on tap this week at the State House. There is a Senate Medical Affairs Subcommittee hearing on the abortion bill S-323 on Wednesday morning. More on that in a minute. Up in Congress, the government shuts down at midnight on October 1st. Lawmakers were originally scheduled to be off Wednesday through the weekend for the Yom Kippur holiday, so we'll see if anyone's going to be around to do anything about anything.
Interesting.
And on the economic calendar, we get consumer confidence numbers on Tuesday, construction and manufacturing spending on Wednesday and Thursday, and September jobs numbers on Friday. Busy week.
Data.
A lot of data. But the big focus this week will be on a new restrictive abortion ban bill that is going through the Senate process right now. This bill S-323 is being called one of the most restrictive anti-abortion bills ever and would silence and criminalize doctors and patients seeking information on abortions and obtaining and possessing medicine for the legal medical procedure, among other things. So Maayan Schechter is joining us to discuss this bill and where it's going. Hey, Maayan.
Hey, Gavin.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you with no storm coming or, big storm coming toward us.
Thank God. Yes, we just have a legislative one that we're focusing on right now, and that's this bill S-323, which has really gotten a lot of people worked up. I've been hearing from people all over the country that have South Carolina ties, and they're like, what's going on with this bill? What's the latest about that? So, Maayan, if you could, just tell us what's in this bill and what it would accomplish if it was passed in this current form.
Mm-hmm. So, right, Senate Bill 323, which is also being called the Unborn Child Protection Act. It was filed by Anderson Republican State Senator Richard Cash, who, as you know, is probably arguably one of the most vocal anti-abortion legislators in the General Assembly, has been for years. It has two co-sponsors on it, Rex Rice from Pickens County and Billy Garrett, who represents parts of Greenwood, Lexington, and Saluda counties. So the top line is that it would ban abortions altogether. That is what it wants to accomplish. It gets rid of most of the exceptions that are currently allowed under state law. So it would get rid of rape, incest, fatal fetal anomalies. And you kind of mentioned this. It enhances penalties for both women who get abortions and also anyone who performs them. There are parts of the bill that talk about medication for early term abortions, mifepristone, outlawing the ability to get that. It also talks about making it illegal to transport a minor to another state to get into abortion. So as you mentioned, it is a very, very restrictive abortion bill. It is also a very expansive abortion bill as well.
Yeah, because when you're talking about expanding it, where are we right now with our current abortion law in the state? When you talk about restrictions, you're talking about week limits. Take us from where we are to what this would do again.
So South Carolina currently bans abortions at around 6 weeks from conception. It's been called for many years the fetal heartbeat abortion ban. It's been upheld by the state Supreme Court now 2-3, can't remember how many times. It includes the exceptions that I did mention. It also includes the fatal fetal anomalies, rape, incest, life of the mother. It is a bill that was not super popular as it was moving through the pipeline through the General Assembly a few years ago, but it has now been essentially embraced by most of the Republicans in the state legislature, including the governor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a tough fight to get that bill through. Maayan, it's the off season. It's October. It's not January through May when we typically have these hearings. Why is this happening right now? What's the push here?
So this bill was filed earlier this year by Cash. And obviously, as you know, it's not super uncommon that the legislature would hold off-session hearings to kind of get the ball started. But it is particularly random that this particular bill has a hearing coming up in October. As you know, we're headed into the last year of a 2-year session, which means any bill that does not become law after session effectively dies for the year and would have to be refiled in the next year. Obviously, this is an attempt, an opportunity by Senator Cash to get the ball rolling, so to speak, on this legislation. He is chairing the Senate Medical Affairs Subcommittee that the bill is in on Wednesday. We know that the Senate has gotten more conservative over the years, as has the Senate Medical Affairs Committee. That doesn't mean necessarily that this bill will become law in the next year, but obviously starting the hearings now means you don't have to start the process once they come back in January.
And that's the whole issue here, too, is that yes, this is a subcommittee hearing. There still needs to go to the committee, a lot of other steps before it even possibly gets to the floor, or then it can also be blocked by a Democrat as well if they wanted to.
Or a Republican. I mean, there's some Republicans in the Senate who are not fans of getting rid of exceptions in particular is not very popular, even among Republican voters, but also among the Republican members of the legislature. We've seen that come up in the House in particular, and that did not go anywhere. We've seen the discussion happen in the Senate. That did not go anywhere.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work to get that onto a debate, like to have the debate in the Senate. And if it's not going to pass, if you don't have the 2/3 to pass it, I mean, then there's really no...
It's really, yeah. I mean,
even if you have a supermajority like they do, it doesn't necessarily mean that all Republicans are on board with this super restrictive bill.
Right. I mean, right now, as I mentioned, there's only 3 people that are listed as sponsors on this bill, which is a little bit of a decent indicator of where the rest of the GOP caucus in the Senate might be. And we don't know what the House is going to do either if this bill were even to get over there. Now, the House is up for re-election, so that does add some, interesting dynamics. And I think, too, having this bill as kind of a focal point during what is going to be a big election year, not just for the House, but also the governor's race and a U.S. Senate race and congressional races. I mean, there's an effort to put this front and center and get people to probably endorse it or not endorse it.
Yeah, but then at the same time, they get to do all that stuff, and they don't have to go into the Senate, except maybe Josh Kimbrough, because he's one of them. But to try and see this go through, because this would choke up any calendar, essentially, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, abortion debates, as you know, take weeks. I mean, they really can take a huge chunk out of the legislative session. And I think you and I have spoken to Senate Majority Shane Massey. We've also heard from GOP leaders in the House. They've got some big things that they also still want to accomplish this year. I think they've talked about, still stuff going on with, tort reform or even energy or any, budget is going to be another thing. I mean, but that's typical every year. Anyway, abortion debates take a lot of time. So it's still unclear, I think, at this particular point, whether this bill actually will even go anywhere throughout the chamber. And as you mentioned, each senator can put their name on a bill and effectively stop it. And it remains to be seen whether there would be enough votes to potentially pull that bill and put it on a, special order calendar or something.
So really right now, just kind of getting things lined up for the return to session and then to see where it would go from there at that point.
I think so. Right.
But real quick, Mayan, since we have you, and a change of topic, former Lexington Republican Representative R.J. May has pled guilty to 5 counts of his distributing child pornography last week. It's Monday morning. You're about to jump over to the federal courthouse for a press conference there with U.S. Attorney Brian Sterling. But walk us through, you were kind of on top of following R.J. for South Carolina Public Radio. You were about to have to cover that trial. What's the latest on that? Where are things going now? Right.
So he'll, in federal court on Monday, he'll enter his guilty plea. We've been told that sentencing may happen at a later date, but he faces, I think it's 5 to 20 years in federal prison for each count. He's pleading guilty to 5 of 10 counts. So he won't get all 10 counts. But this will cap and, at least on the criminal side, a particularly ugly black eye, I think, for the General Assembly. This was not a good past 2 years for the General Assembly with R.J. May's court activity. And so this will definitely be, I think, come up a lot within the elections that we have coming up and in the State House. But at least on the criminal side, we are very close to closing this chapter.
Yeah, and we'll find out more details if he's going to be sentenced today as well when we hear back from you after that press conference. So yeah, it really has changed some things, and I'm sure there won't be any short supply of Democrats bringing this up.
Or Republicans in the House GOP caucus. I mean, they've definitely made it clear that they're going to continue to tie the House Freedom Caucus to their former vice chair, founder, de facto spokesman. Mm-hmm. So I don't think on the political side that this topic is completely done.
Gotcha. All right, Maayan Schechter, thank you.
Thank you.
Now let's go up to Washington, where there's a government funding shutdown brewing. That's right, the government runs out of money at 12 midnight, Wednesday, October 1st, if lawmakers don't come up with a spending deal. Now, the House did pass a plan to the Senate before leaving town last week, and it isn't returning until after October 1st. It's called Hardball People. Now, the Senate does not have the support it needs to pass the House version or its own amended version of that bill, because Republicans need 7 Democrats to join them on any measure. Last week, Trump canceled a meeting with Democratic leaders and spent the weekend watching golf, but he is meeting with Democrats on Monday, so we'll see if anything comes of that. We're taping right now, so I can't tell you what happened there. But according to 2024 numbers from the Office of Personnel Management, of the more than 2 million federal employees, roughly 25,000 live right here in South Carolina.
Wow.
With you and me.
Wow.
Those deemed non-essential will not be working during the shutdown and could be laid off instead of furloughed as they have been in the past. The last government shutdown was the longest, spanning 35 days from December 22nd, 2018 through January 25th, 2019. Seems just like yesterday. And we have dodged Tropical Storm Imelda thanks to a Hurricane Umberto assist that pulled Imelda away from the coast, where many models had it going when Governor Henry McMaster declared a state of emergency last Friday. We did have a press briefing over the weekend, which corresponded right with the year anniversary of Tropical Storm Helene hitting our state. That's always a little unnerving when anniversaries coincide with new real-life events. But we continue our look back at the anniversary of Helene with South Carolina Public Radio's Scott Morgan.
The first time I'd ever heard of Landrum, South Carolina, was because 2 people had died. Their names were Christopher Owens and Gene Pitts, killed on Friday, September 27, 2024, by a fallen tree while surveying storm damage near Earls Fort Road. Later, I would learn of Ralph Sell, a North Carolina man who drowned in a vehicle submerged in Helene's flooding on a road in town that same day. That made Landrum the only city in South Carolina to record 3 deaths attributed to Helene on September 27th. A year later, the town is still recovering, and Landrum's tiny downtown does feel normal, but
people still come daily who just cannot recover from it.
This is Kim Swangham, Assistant Director for Operation Hope and the founder of Broken Angels Emergency Response. Operation Hope runs a thrift store on Main Street. It helps fund food for pantries still assisting survivors of Helene near Landrum and not.
We actually still are active to this day. Anything that they need at this point in time or anyone needs here in Landrum, all the way up to Tennessee.
Operation Hope got a $5,000 grant from the Spartanburg County Foundation to help it keep running through the worst of Helene's aftermath. Says Operation Hope's director Tanya Stone, the money went fast on many things.
Oh my gosh, how much propane we had to give. We also have help with furniture.
Clothing,
blankets, tents, heaters.
Even though we weren't in the middle of the flood, we were at the tail end of it, literally right here in the Salida grade. You can still see the effects of that. And one of the restaurants that's been there for generations lost everything on the river right there on 176.
The restaurant Swangham just mentioned is called Karamai. It was a popular destination restaurant just over the border in Tryon, in a storybook setting right on the river.
The river with the bridge was completely gone. That's one thing we were known for with the covered bridge.
Dane Stafford shows me pictures on his phone of what happened to his restaurant. Rooms and furniture obliterated. The building itself snapped in half like a sunken ship, knocked off its foundation by rushing floodwaters that took almost everything.
I first got to the valley, my first thought was that the bridge would be gone. I didn't think that the building would be almost destroyed and taken off the foundation, but
one of the few things Stafford managed to save were the dozens of sports team pennants hung high up on the walls. They now hang on the walls in Karamai's new location just outside downtown Landrum. And Stafford says he's blessed to have all this, both because he's managed to resuscitate his restaurant and because so many people stepped in to help him do it.
I've had way more help with manpower, physical labor, monetarily than I could ever wish for.
But it's still not the storybook cabin in the woods. And it's clear that Dane Stafford is still dealing with the loss.
Oh yeah, it was a special setting.
Karamai was on the Pacolet River since 1957, so for Stafford, there was too much history there to let the restaurant just disappear.
Caramai's just been a big tradition for so many people. I just, felt that obligation to try to keep it going if we could. So
Tomorrow, the last in our 4-part series on South Carolina 1 year following Helene, with a look at communication and miscommunication as it played out in Saluda.
Thank you, Scott. You can find that reporting and more at southcarolinapublicradio.org. Welcome to the wind down section, our little break from the news. We're glad you're here with AT Shire lead podcast producer.
Hello.
And Mayan Schechter, South Carolina
We
Radio.
couldn't get her to leave.
She's stuck
Thank you,
around,
Mayan.
folks.
I've been sleeping in this office.
I know. There's a lot of detritus
Camping out.
everywhere.
Yep. So, Gavin, we do have a call, and it is apropos to many things, okay?
yeah.
And just stay hungry, folks. It's going to be big. It's going to be long here. All right?
I've been wondering why there's so much milk, raw milk in the studio.
Okay, here we go. Here's the call.
Hi, this is Kristen. I am currently in Charleston, South Carolina, driving back to Columbia. I just wanted to hop on and comment on the whoopie pie discussion. I have a lot of family from Maine, have visited a lot. Just want to corroborate that whoopie pies are a pretty superior dessert, one of my faves. And there actually are a lot of differences in whoopie pies, I've found. Some middles have a little more icing, but I just like the ones that are a little lighter, a little more heavy on the marshmallow fluff type, so it's not so heavy, not too rich. But anyway, love the show. Keep it up. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Kristen driving back to Columbia from Charleston the proper way.
It's the proper direction. Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
It's the right way, folks, okay? We have no tourists
You can't
here.
argue with us. No. Also, another Maine connection. We'd love to hear that.
So,
AT, describe what you see in the studio.
what I'm looking at in the studio right now is two great reporters. Okay, first off, I want to say two great reporters. Okay, only one has a podcast. And then I'm also seeing that my stepmother Suzanne has made whoopie pies for everybody
Here we
here.
are.
Okay, so Mayan, you also have Maine connections, so you might be a great person to be trying right now.
Well, I actually, maybe I never really visited Maine growing up because I don't remember eating whoopie pies. Now, I will say that I think like the ice cream in Maine is better than any other state. And I think that there's something in the milk there.
Interesting.
So I'm going to assume that these are going to be amazing based on that.
So what we have here is, just like Kristen said, we have a standard issue with marshmallow ice cream.
Okay.
And then seasonally, we have a pumpkin with cream cheese ice cream.
And
So
it's a whoopie pie has it's like a big cookie.
it's like a fluffy, cakey cookie, brown throughout, chocolate brown, and then it has marshmallow in the middle, sort of like a devil dog.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna take a bite, guys.
Let's take bites.
Guys, listen to this.
ASMR.
Oh.
What are you tasting? Huh? It's good.
It's giving me like little Debbie nostalgia.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm being transported. Oh, it's very nice.
They're very good. I've just sort of been having them my whole life, though, so I'm not like floored by them, but they are very, very good.
I would say it's enjoyable because the cookie, whatever we want to call it, is nice and moist. It's
It
not
is
dry.
moist. Yeah.
But wouldn't that be a miserable experience?
But this is a side of the road treat. It's sort of like next to every cash register in Maine, you know. Mayan, are you being transported?
A little. I will say the thing I like about the center is it doesn't give you that really disgusting sugar rush where you have to shake your head because you feel like you've been overpowered by kind of icing. But no,
Some
this
coffee would be good with this. So we make coffee.
They have all different flavors. There honestly might be coffee ones. There are red velvet ones. There's all kinds. So let's move on to the seasonally appropriate pumpkin one, which is going to perfectly segue us.
Looks really good. Now you tell me there's cream cheese.
This is a cream cheese filling.
cheese.
That's how my parents they emphasize the second word all the time. Cream cheese.
A mini pumpkin pie.
That's some superior.
Is that good? Is it
Icing.
better?
That's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
You can tell.
I don't think I could eat a whole one. Like a little bite size is really perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed these. Thank you, Suzanne. I mean, now officially beyond my stepmom, friend of the pod. Okay, so Now we're segueing to probably unholy pumpkin unions here. Gavin, what are you holding?
I was shopping the other
eating
day.
is not over.
Yeah, we have a bunch of crap in the studio.
Yeah.
I was shopping and we're talking about all things pumpkin. So anytime I see a pumpkin thing, I'm like, well, I'm going to bring this in the office.
Yeah.
See how crazy we can get. And
Let our hair down a little bit.
you are currently looking at 5.3 ounces of a limited edition, limited batch Chobani
LTO.
Greek yogurt pumpkin spice.
Disgusting.
Is
Fruit
it
on the bottom.
Chobani?
Fruit on the bottom.
Chobani.
Chobani.
And I do-
I don't know.
Chobani?
I don't know.
Chobani.
It sounded
Chobani?
fancier the way you
well,
said
you know,
it.
Ralph Lauren.
Right.
But I
Chobani.
do want to point out that pumpkins
Chanel.
are fruits, okay?
Yeah, fruit on the bottom.
It is a fruit.
No,
Disgusting.
I want to see giant chunks of pumpkin.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just one
My
giant
aunt has
chunk.
one too, so we're opening it.
You're like a secret unveiling.
I don't like the way
Oh.
the consistency looks.
I
It
would
looks a little watery.
I would never eat this. I would never eat one of these.
I'm only doing this because my
Mine looks a
aunt-
lot better. No?
Gavin disagrees. I'm going to say on body language he doesn't agree with you.
I don't. The spice floating
The
around.
spice must flow.
It doesn't smell like pumpkin spice, which is a little deceiving.
Oh, God,
You know, I want
okay.
the smell and the taste.
I'm standing
It looks
up
like
now,
it could.
folks. I'm standing
it
up.
looks like
I
it
need
could
a
be
better
filling
angle.
in some sort of cheesecake, perchance.
Oh.
Pumpkin cheese. Yes.
Take a bite.
Oh no, it's soupy.
Oh, it does. It looks thin. My aunt is
Gavin, is this even...
is this in date?
I mean, it says it is.
I don't
but
think it
it's-
expires, honey.
Whatever this is doesn't go
Actually,
bad.
the more you eat of it, the better it gets.
It improves. My aunt.
Maybe I need to get at the bottom.
No,
Is
you
there-
just gotta eat. You gotta eat the whole
Oh, the
thing.
pumpkin girl hates pumpkin all
Is
of a sudden.
is there a surprise at the bottom?
More indigestion.
This might be the first pumpkin thing that I'm not quite sure about.
Should we top it off with a pumpkin spice covered pretzel?
Yeah, we are not done yet. I also have a
They can
list.
dip it. They can dip them.
Oh,
My aunt, I have a list.
Amy's waving her head, shaking her head furiously. No.
I would start cross-contaminating all of this stuff here. My aunt, I also have a list here of pumpkin spice everything while you eat, and I'm just going to rapid-fire hit you with these, okay?
Okay.
We have Kraft mac and cheese pumpkin spice, yes or
Absolutely.
no?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right. Spam, pumpkin spice spam, limited edition.
I've never had Spam regular, so I couldn't weigh in on that. I'll have to be
Okay,
Switzerland here.
that's why she's a really good reporter.
That's right.
there.
Stop eating this yogurt.
I don't take
Pumpkin
sides.
spice ramen cup of noodles. Oh, shit's amazing.
With like a little sriracha on it.
How are the pretzels?
They don't taste the way they used to taste.
You
Bring
think
back
everything
the
we've
old
been eating?
film.
We're doing it again. We're bringing it back, okay? Pringles, pumpkin spice Pringles.
Maybe.
That's a good cracker.
I think that sounds
I
disgusting.
mean, they make chips for
We're
everything.
throttling this line here.
maple syrup,
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
boar's head hummus.
I have something really against dessert hummus.
Yes, it's an abomination.
It's a general. I oppose all of it.
It's disgusting. Yeah, cottage cheese, pumpkin spice
No.
cottage cheese.
No, because that texture. No, don't ruin
it's like
it for
a
me.
mini pumpkin.
Don't
That's
ruin it for me.
disgusting. I couldn't imagine. That would be so gross.
Well, stay tuned till Saturday's podcast.
Just you wait, okay? Pork rinds.
Well, I'm gonna have to take Switzerland on that one.
Religious exclusion on that one.
Then we got cookies. That's fine. Sure. Mochis. That's fine.
Yes.
Here we go. This is the piece de resistance. 5-hour energy pumpkin spice shot.
Ooh, sure. Like
Sure,
a little,
yes?
like a little shot of creamer.
Bring it out.
Yeah.
She's going to be so wired. Then we got Twinkies. And of course, just like correspondent Kevin said, the Goldfish Dunkin' pumpkin spice graham cracker.
Yes.
I know.
Is that a real thing?
That's real.
Sadly, it is.
We got a
We talked
call
about it.
from the middle of a Publix.
From Duncan?
No,
it's at
wonderful.
Publix.
We had a
At
correspondent
Publix.
in the aisles. He was
Wow.
in a state of shock. He called us an emergency.
I love our
haste.
freelancers.
And of course, we have the Dude Wipes Dumpkin Spice Dude Wipes. Yeah,
You're gonna
flushable
need,
wipes.
This is all sponsored by the Dude Wipes.
Yeah. Hopefully we get the Dude White sponsorship soon enough. But Mayan, thank you for debasing yourself
Yes.
seasonally.
Absolutely.
It means so much to us that you would do
Oh,
it
right,
for
because
us.
here we come October 1st for this.
You will be listening to
spooky
this
season
in
begins.
official spook season. So I'm so glad you guys did that. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kristen. Thank you, Mayan.
We'll do this again
Absolutely.
soon in a pile of leaves somewhere.
Yes.
With my scarf.
Gavin, do the outro,
Just-
please.
Holding warm apple cider saying, oh, it's so nice. It's so crisp out here. That's what they're going to be saying. Can you guys see it? Can you see it now?
He's all by himself, folks.
I was just scrolling. And thanks for listening to the pod. Be like Kristen and give us a shout at 803-563-7169. You heard some wonderful, even if it was disturbing content there in the wind down section. We need you to weigh in. Let us know where you're at on all things pumpkin. And you can always stay up to date with the latest news on SCETV.org and SouthCarolinaPublicRadio.org. And don't forget to support your local newspapers. The South Carolina Lead is a production of South Carolina Public Radio. Our producer is A.T. Shire. Amy Crouch is our supervising producer. Sean Birch is our executive producer. This podcast is produced with support from PRX and is made possible in part by a grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, as well as listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina. Thank you. For the South Carolina Lead, I'm Gavin Jackson. Be well, South Carolina.
Ew. Nothing like some good warm yogurt.
Thank you for saying that, Mayan.
Yes, you're welcome. Oh, is that on the
That might be on the end.
Fantastic.